Alright, here's another little session of playing around with OpenAI. This time I'm going to play around with news articles and see what this thing does when you feed it some news. This is a CNN article. COVID-19 cases are on the rise with Thanksgiving just 3 days away by Deldry McPhillips. Posted on November 22nd, 2021. Let's give it 2 paragraphs. And it'll learn from that and start making up its own stuff. Okay, let's see what it said. So bold is the real article where it learned from. We're still seeing significant activity, said Dr. William Schaffner, an infectious disease expert at Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee. The virus is not going away. Infectious disease experts have been closely watching the progress of this year's outbreak because it has been so severe and persistent. Unlike previous years, when cases typically appeared first among children who have traveled to areas where measles was common or were unvaccinated for other reasons. This time around, most patients had no history of travel outside the United States. Many people with measles also weren't vaccinated against it. So I'm talking about measles now for some reason. And since last spring, there's been more than 2,000 confirmed cases reported across 27 states. Last week alone saw 42 new infections, including one each in California and Georgia, that involved 2 adults visiting from Israel during a trip organized by Chabad something international organization. The organization runs Jewish centers worldwide, as well as summer camps for kids called Camp Gan Yizrizi, which promotes Judaism through sports activities like baseball and swimming lessons, along with Torah study. It's always the Jews. That was obviously a joke. Alright. That was weird. Let's see what it does this time. The vaccine is working, but it's not 100% effective. The CDC says the current strain of COVID-19 has a 15 to 20% failure rate. But there are other reasons why people aren't getting vaccinated. Some fear side effects, others don't think they need it because they're healthy or haven't been exposed to someone with the virus. We're still seeing a lot of people who aren't getting vaccinated, said Dr. Paul Offit, chief of infectious disease at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia and author of Deadly Choices: How the Anti-Vaccine Movement Threatens Us All. A lack of vaccine confidence is another factor that could lead to an increase in cases this year, according to Dr. William. There's that William again. At Vanderbilt Medical, he points out that some Americans don't believe vaccines work or think they're dangerous despite scientific evidence to the contrary. And many people simply can't get shots because their doctors have run out, he says. Some medical practices reported running low on supplies as early as September. This shortage comes after manufacturers cut back production due to safety concerns about difficile, I don't know how to pronounce that word, strain in one version of the shot. There are 2. The FDA then ordered companies not to use it anymore until further notice. It was unclear how long it would take manufacturers to make up these shortfalls. Earlier this month, manufacturer Sanofi Pasteur pledged additional doses but did not specify when they'd be available. The CDC has also warned consumers against buying unapproved versions online without knowing that they contain live virus strains similar enough to COVID-19. As more time passes since last year's outbreak began, vaccination rates will likely go down unless there's better communication from health officials and increased access through greater supply availability. So it definitely picks up journalistic cadence pretty quickly. Let's feed it another paragraph and see if that makes us stay on topic a little more. Oops. And while the nation's overall case rate is half of what it was this time last year, that doesn't mean we're out of the woods. The CDC has warned us to expect a third wave and even more cases than before. And in October, when schools start back up again, so will virus transmission. We've seen how fast viruses can spread through classrooms. There were clusters of hundreds or thousands of cases reported in places like Texas, Utah, and Colorado just days after students returned from summer break. So far, there have been no large outbreaks among school-aged children this fall, but Thanksgiving weekend could be different if unvaccinated kids come into contact with infected travelers returning home for holiday visits. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's find another article. Maybe one just about food. Let's get less scary here. How to use food to boost your immune system. So, let's see if it tells us to eat something dangerous. And this thing could write entire books. Like, it's kind of scary. Just still going. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Well, while that's doing that, let's plug in. Okay. What we got? So bold is what we fed it. Micronutrients such as vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B, complex zinc can help pump up the body's defense system against cold, flus, and even COVID-19, Dill said. But you won't boost immunity by eating large amounts of one single nutrient food or another. It's really a combination of foods that you eat every day, she said. So what are some good food combinations? Medina recommends eating more whole grain fruits and vegetables while cutting back on red meat, saturated fats, and sugar, sweetened beverages. That will help your body get a variety of nutrients it needs to fight off illness. Here are 5 key micronutrients, each paired with its best sources, vitamin C found in citrus fruit. This antioxidant is important for immune function because it can neutralize free radicals that would otherwise damage cells or DNA. It also helps make antibodies against pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and fungi by boosting production of interferon, an antiviral protein produced by white blood cells called, I can't pronounce that. Good sources include guava, strawberries, oranges, broccoli, tomatoes, bell peppers, papaya, and potatoes. There's no recommended daily intake for vitamin C. Instead, experts recommend it again with their diet alone to prevent scurvy, which causes weakness due to lack of collagen and connective tissue. Adults should consume at least 75 milligrams per day from food or supplements combined with moderate sun exposure when possible. Foods high in vitamin C have anti-inflammatory properties, but that has not been proven yet in human studies. Vitamin D, found in salmon, this nutrient regulates the expression of genes involved in immunity. So god damn, man, this thing. Most people do not receive adequate levels even if they drink fortified. You get the idea. This thing just. I have no idea if any of it's true. I know sometimes it just spits out nonsense. But who knows? Download it, play with it,